It's time to determine our champions of the Bowling Promotion Tour Mixed Doubles Step Ladder. Today's teams are the number 3 seeds Philip Manning and Avan Rhodes, both of England, versus our leading qualifiers Finland's Eliisa Hiltunen and France's Keny Billaut. We are back with our 2024-2025 Bowling Promotion Tour season and another series of 24 exciting matches for you, including doubles, team, women's, and masters singles competition featuring bowlers from 8 different countries. All our competitors have bowled 18 games of qualifying at various locations around France, and we are here at Bowling La Sphère in Fontaine, Comte, about 200 miles southwest of Paris, for our televised finals. This is our 8th match of 24, and again features Baker doubles competition, and that each team member bowls every other frame in our one-game match. As with our women's and men's doubles pairing, the 18-game qualifying scores were used to determine doubles pairing and seeding. And during that qualifying, it was Keny Billaut averaging 235 in a dominant performance, out-averaging David Barak by almost 10 pins to lead all qualifiers. And it was Eliisa Hiltunen averaging 210, outpacing her nearest rival, Pepi Consteri, by over 10 pins. So clearly, the team of Hiltunen and Billaut are the ones to beat. And as the teams complete practice here, we'll have a look at strategy. And there is Philip Manning with a shiny attention star, and he's going to move left. We are on the Gateway Arch oil pattern, but we've seen 4 matches already bowled on this pattern, so the bowlers will be moving left, the right-handers anyway. They'll be moving left with shinier equipment, trying to get the ball to go down the lane and turn up hard through the pocket. We saw that in Hiltunen's practice shot a minute ago. Here is Keny Billaut throwing a purple hammer to perfection, and again, this is still practice. We haven't started the match yet. In our last match, it was Rhodes and Manning defeating the number 2 seeds Finland's Pepi Consteri and Slovakia's David Barak in a 220-214 thriller match that came down to a split conversion by Barak, forcing Manning to throw a clutch double to secure their spot in the finals. Before that, they bested the number 4 seeds Emily Rogers of England and Mike de Boer of the Netherlands. And in our first match, it was Rogers and de Boer defeating the number 4 seeds Becca Manning of England and Arnois Ambiel of France. We've already completed women's and men's doubles competition with Keny Billaut and David Barak starting with the front 9 against Joe Crook and Arnois Ambiel to take that title, and Eliisa Hiltunen and Pepi Consteri defeating Becca Manning and Charlie Burton-Williams for their women's doubles title. So it is Hiltunen and Billaut each looking for their second title here in these televised finals. I think we're about ready to get underway here. It will be Hiltunen and Billaut kicking us off on the left lane, and again, for most of the matches, the left lane has shown to be the easier lane, but in the last match, it was Rhodes and Manning pulling it out in the 10th frame to win on that right lane. So let's see how they do in this game on the right lane. And here is Elisa's first shot, and you can see that shiny DNA coil goes down the lane, saves energy, turns through the pocket, and gives her the mixer strike to kick things off. So good shot there by Eliisa to get us underway. And running it out, carry that 7-pin, thank you very much. And here we can see some pin action, and look at that 7-pin gets tapped late, but it cooperates and goes down for the early strike. Here is Avan Rhodes, just 17 years old. Avan struggled at the beginning of our last match, but came back to give her team a chance to win, and Philip Manning did just that. This time she gets a little bit slow, and the ball turns through the beak, giving her the 6-10 conversion. Once again, the Gateway Arch oil pattern, 42 feet, 9.3 to 1, 26 mils, and think about that, 26 mils, relatively low by today's standards, and we are on our 4th match with practice on this pattern, so clearly things are going to be breaking down. There's transition. We're going to see bowlers on the right especially move left, as we said, and will certainly play a role as we move through this match. And there is the 6-10 conversion by Rhodes, and here's another look at the shot that left her the 6-10, and that ball a little bit slow, turned up through the beak. And there's the conversion of the 6-10 there, so no trouble on the Sphère. We do have the women's stepladder coming up. We have men's stepladder as well, so stay tuned for 16 additional matches coming up on this same channel. Here is Keny Billaut, first shot. Gets a mitt full of that purple hammer. Let's see how he does. Turns it up, out to the dry, turns it up and dead flush. No doubt about that shot. That'll be an opening double for Hiltunen and Billaut. Again, they have to be considered the favorites here, having outpaced the field in the qualifying. And there's Keny. Look at that ball turn off the corner, and a beautiful reaction. Dead flush in the pocket, and here we go. Now Philip Manning left on the lane with that attention star. It's down the 12 board. Not bad. Oh, ring 10 for Philip. Pretty good shot. And indeed, it is Bruce Hall here with you on the international commentary. And you can see in the booth back there is our friend Bruno Bidone along with Marc Chavet providing the French commentary. And Marc will provide our interview after this match is over. And there's a 10-pin conversion there by Manning. So 2 spares versus 2 strikes is going to put the Rhodes and Manning team in an early 11-pin deficit. And cross lane with the plastic ball, no trouble there. So look at that shiny DNA coil. You can see that pin above her fingers. This gives Eliisa 2 advantages. Got the shiny surface and the drilling. Gets the ball down the lane. That time didn't quite make the corner, so it comes back for a 2-8 combination. It will reduce their lead to 9, but see how this match progresses and see how things break down even now as we move through this 4th match on this Gateway Arch oil pattern. Hiltunen, a PWBA member. And a slow roll over to the 2-8 makes the conversion. Good shot there. And looking strong. Hiltunen, 31 years old. And no trouble there in the 2-8. Now it is Avan. Rhodes has been getting deeper and deeper and deeper, staying with that surface on that DNA. You can see the difference. That's the same ball as Hiltunen is throwing, but look at the shine that Hiltunen has on it versus the dull surface that Rhodes is using. And deep out to the dry, turn it up. Oh, great shot, and trips the 4. And that will be a strike, hopefully the beginning of a string for this team. Let's see where this ball crosses. Right around 3rd arrow. She laid it down inside of that for sure. Got it out to the dry, turns it up, and gets the trip 4. Key shot there. Let's see Philip Manning looking on. And here is Billaut. Can he go 2 for 2 here? Taking his time, gets a stroke, shots away, pretty far out to the dry, and it bounces off that dry a little hard and comes up for a 6-10 combination. You can see that is urethane, but those purple hammers have quite a bit of reaction to them and quite a bit of back end considering the urethane. And so that ball bounced off the dry and came up a little bit high in the pocket for Billaut. Once again, Billaut looking for his 2nd title here. He and David Barak went front 9. It was David Barak's first time on television, and he absolutely crushed it by throwing all of his strikes. And then Billaut only missed in the 10th, so they went front 9. And Billaut no problem on the 6-10. Looks like he converted to, changed to over to reactive to shoot cross lane and cut through that oil and get over to the right. And urethane can be unpredictable when trying to shoot at those spares. Here's Manning. Can he double up and tie the score, basically? No. Through the beak. Gets a break there. Kicks out the 7-pin. And he was very fortunate not to leave that 7-pin with this. Gets tapped late by, looks like maybe the head pin or the 2-pin. And leaving him still a challenging spare with the 3, 6, 10. But no trouble there, and since he's on the strike, loses no count. So we now have a 7-pin match going through our 4 frames. We're heading into the halfway point, and both teams clean, and Hiltunen with BO, and BO with the only double. So here we go. Marc Chavet, of course, the voice of the Tour de France, and great to hear his interviews, and his American accent is superior, actually, when you listen to it. So, and there's a weak 10 by Hiltunen. I thought that was a pretty good shot, but it comes up a little bit late, a little bit lazy up to the pocket, and gives her the weak 10. Once again, the pattern breaking down, getting a little bit trickier. And sometimes what you see is the pocket is still accessible, but the carry gets a little bit tricky as we start to break down the oil on the front. And a little bit of it carries down to the back, so you have early hook and less reaction on the back, all of which adds up to fewer strikes as the pattern breaks down. So good cover there by Eliisa. And no trouble. This tour takes place in late September, early October. And if you'd like to be part of the tour, you can be. Certainly go visit the Bowling Promotion Tour website. And Bruno Bidone is your host and organizer. And a wonderful event this is, showcasing some amazing talent for many, many years now. Avan Rhodes, again, just 17 here in the final. And again, out the third arrow, and goes Brooklyn. She's got that speed issue sometimes. She gets on the side, grabs it a little bit, the ball slows down early. And this time it crosses over, but gets the fortunate strike. She's there, she knows that hooked early, but hey, I'll take the Brooklyn strike. That's okay. And now we're down to a 6-pin match. And Manning says, okay, hey, Brooklyn, we'll take it. No problem. Once again, 16 additional matches coming your way on this channel. And we'll be doing women's and men's stepladder. Here is BO. Gets that one a little bit further left. Perfect shot by Keny. BO made the adjustment off the high hit. We'd like to thank Storm for sponsoring our women's series, and Cupica AMF for their continued sponsorship of the Masters series. We'd also like to thank institutional partner National Sport Agency, as well as the regions of Normandy, Brittany, and New Aquitaine, the departments of Calvados, La Manche, Dille and Vilaine, Pays de Loire, and La Vienne, and the cities of Rennes, Chateaubriand, and Fontaine-le-Comte. And he got that to the right. He knew it, Manning. He kind of fell off it, too. He knew he didn't make a good shot. He wasn't happy with it as soon as he let it go. And even in the drier conditions, the ball did not make the turn, and again cannot capitalize on the strike given to him by his partner, and leaves the 2-8 combination. But since Hiltunen and BO have been unable to double since the first frame, if he can just clean this up, which he does, we are still in a 6-pin match. So a little bit of nip and tuck going on here. Both teams clean, no opens. And that ball turned right to the 2-8. Almost went by it, but hangs on to convert the 2-8 combination for Manning. Now Hiltunen, very focused. That shiny DNA coil, gets it out to the dry. Good looking shot, turns it up, and oh my goodness, really? And then the machine thought it was a strike. because the pin was rocking. Oh my gosh. What a hit. That ball had all the power. Watch this hit. It goes up and it almost leaves the 7-9. Look at that. The head pin goes over the top, barely kicks out the 7. And then the 9 just rocks and rocks. Oh, that's just bad break and on a strike to boot. Could have been a double to extend their lead, but instead they have this 9-pin conversion. So wow, what a I have to consider it a bad break for the Hiltunen BO team, because that was a very good shot by Eliisa. They're now setting up that 9-pin, and you use lasers to sense what pins are up, and when they're moving back and forth, sometimes the lasers don't acknowledge that, and that's what happened here. So it thought it was a strike and set up a new rack, and now we'll have to have the 9-pin set up, which looks like has happened, and now it will be. And there we go with the mechanic doing the deed there, and there's the 9-pin ready to shoot for the spare. Wow, what a bad break there. Amazing hit. Can you imagine if she made a hit like that and it was a 7-9? That would have been the ultimate terrible break. Takes the plastic ball, textbook shot across to convert, but again, neither team able to break out here. We're in the middle of the 7th frame, and we have only one double in the match. And indeed, it's indicative of the breakdown of this gateway arch oil pattern. A lot of young talent coming up here in Europe. We have a 17-year-old Rhodes. We had 17-year-old Emily Rogers, 25-year-old Mike DeBoer, 21-year-old Pepe Consteri. And that's through the beak. And that's going to give them a 9-pin deficit now. They're going to lose 3 pins in count. They had it down to 6. And again, we're just nipping and tucking our way through the match. And I think Avan needs to make a further move left if she's going to stay with that dull equipment. If she wants to get pushed through the front, she needs to catch more oil on the front of the lane, which means she's got to get her feet further left to use what oil is left over there. Wastes no time, gets up and does convert the 3-6-10. I tell you, these bowlers are making these spares look easy, and they are not that easy. This 3-6-10 especially is challenging, and you can see Avan clear that out. Now Keny Billaut, 2 strikes and 1 high hit. This will be his 4th shot of the match. We're in the 8th frame, 9-pin match. We've been within 10 pins the entire game so far. Billaut and Hiltunen hanging on to their slim lead. Can they break out and put some strikes together here late in the game? And Billaut out to the dry, comes up, rips the rack. Beautiful shot there by Keny Billaut. All that power. Even for a one-hander, you hate to say that, but for a one-hander, he has exceptional power. He has a wonderful hand position at the bottom. He gets all that leverage and power through that purple hammer, and it comes up and then rips the rack. Now Manning, important shot here. Still going straight up the lane, gets high, and can't get the 4-pin to go. Manning is really, even a couple of matches ago, he moved right and tried to go straighter, even during the breakdown. And it's mostly paid off for him, but here he just catches a little bit of dry in the mid lane there. And we've seen that trip 4 go before, but not this time. So now we're sitting with exactly a 10-pin match, but certainly with the advantage over to the Hiltunen BO team, because if Eliisa Hiltunen can get up here and strike and get it to 20, they certainly cannot be caught. We still have 235 in the wood, and Rhodes and Manning can only manage 215 on the out right now. Here Here is Eliisa. Gets it down the lane. Hang on, hang on, hang on. And a flat 10. Pretty good shot. She's been making some very good shots, as we'd expect. But just in some cases, just not quite getting that turn on the back. We expected a little bit more reaction on the back of the lane, but you can see the ball deflect to the right, which has the 6-pin lay in the channel, leaving the 10. A relatively routine spare here. As soon as we say routine, it could be a problem. So here is Eliisa covering the 10-pin, and indeed it is routine. So here we go. Now they're down to 215. Now actually the totals for the two teams are identical at 215. So if all teams were to strike out from here, we would see a 215 tie. Let's see what Avan Rhodes can do for her last shot. Can she get left, get the ball down the lane, find the pocket again? This would be an ideal time to do so. And indeed, she's definitely further left, gets the ball down the lane and catches the oil and gets the crumbling bucket, but doesn't get the strike. It was the right move, so kudos to Rhodes for her move left to get the ball down the oil. And indeed, she catches the oil she needs. She says, that looks good, looks good, looks good. Give me a chance. And it's the mixer 7. And indeed, that's going to give them the 11-pin deficit. And assuming she converts, it'll be both teams on spares going into the 10th. So it's 215 versus 204 now for the Maximums. Oh, but Rhodes goes by the 7-pin. And that is a terrible turn of events. Now the only hope for Rhodes and Manning will be that somehow Keny Billaut opens here in the 10th. And unfortunately, Rhodes got it on that oil, was hoping for it to hook, and it just went straight by the 7-pin. Now they're max 193, which means that all Keny Billaut needs here is a mark. Because even 9 out would give them 193, which would give Manning the chance to get up and triple to tie. But any mark will give them the championship. And he gets it out to the left, turns it up. Oh, how about a bucket? What an interesting leave. So that's no gimme. And now it's 181 in the 9th, so he needs this spare to clean up the match, and if not, Manning can get up and win it because of the count. So Billaut got a little excited on that, I think. Didn't quite get the turn off the dry he was hoping for. Leaves the bucket to 3, 5, 6, 9. And now let's see. Can Keny convert this? This is for the title. Spare conversion for the title. Goes down at it. No, he chops it. And he gets only the 3. And they end up with 190. And sure enough, a spare that's easy to miss. And he goes at it, did everything he was supposed to do, goes right down the lane, doesn't try to cross at it, but he does chop it. And wow, what a gift handed now to Philip Manning. He can double an 8 to win this title for his team. He doubled last match. Can he do it again? Here it goes. Philip Manning. Give us a chance. He moved left a little bit. You could see that. Goes down the lane and dead flush. Great shot by Phil Manning. Yes, sir. And here we go. He needs one more. He's going back to collect his thoughts. What an exciting shot. You could see he moved left off of his last shot on this lane, and he dead flushes it. Watch this hit. That is 10 back, folks. Great shot there by Phil Manning. Can he do it again? Back-to-back matches and on the right lane. Can Philip Manning come up with the win for his team? Here we go. It's all on this shot. Strike and you win. Wastes no time, gets it down the lane, turns up, and he strikes! Great shot by Phil Manning. Wow, now no, you're not done, Phil. Go back, collect your thoughts again. Take your time. You still need a good shot here. You need 8 to win, 7 to tie. And he comes up and he strikes again. Phil Manning, back-to-back matches, coming up with the double in the 10th. Huge, huge performance here by Phil Manning. Wow, this is exciting. And now he needs 8 to win, 7 to tie, 8 or better to win. He's taking his time, gets right through it, and goes down the oil. Get it up, get it up. Yes, sir. There's the title for Phil Manning and Avan Rhodes. Wow, what a finish. Wow, what a match. And sorry, have to say sorry to Hiltunen and Billaut. They bowled so well during the match, and Keny Billaut just got that unlucky chop of the bucket. And Phil Manning, give him the opening. That's 2 matches in a row. Last match, it was a Sphère conversion, and then he got up and struck out to win, and this time he gets up and strikes out to win. Phil Manning, clutch performance here to give his team the mixed doubles title. Congratulations to Avan Rhodes and Phil Manning, coming from the number 3 seed to defeat 2 very tough teams and to win this title. So congratulations to them. And you can see 193 to 190, a tough match back and forth, and a key open there for Hiltunen and Billaut. That was the difference, 193 to 190. So here's Marc's interview.
Alongside Keny Billaut, the French giant out here who left it all on the lanes. Indeed, unfortunately, not working out to get the win. Keny, t'as vraiment tout essayé sur les pistes aujourd'hui, mais ça n'a pas fonctionné. Ils ont été tout simplement plus forts.
Oui, tout à fait. C'est vrai qu'à 2 reprises, sur le double homme, sur le double mixte, je donne tout dès le début et jusqu'à la dernière frame. Et à la dernière frame, malheureusement, j'arrive jamais à conclure cette action. Donc du coup, sur la finale, j'avais cette image en tête et j'ai pas réussi à convertir, alors que Phil, lui, au contraire, était positif. Il a réussi parce que ses 10e frames étaient toujours parfaites.
Well, Keny telling us, I've given everything I have out there. Indeed, it was always that situation. I came up to a point in time during the match where I just could not find the solution. Unlike Phil, who was able to find that solution, take it all the way and get the W. So unfortunately, this time around, Keny Billaut not walking away with the ultimate prize, the grand reward, and his partner as well, Eliisa, just settling for 2nd place out here in the mixed competition. Keny, another opportunity for you as well in the individual play. We look forward to seeing more of you in the very near future. Il y aura une autre occasion évidemment du côté des matchs individuels. On a hâte évidemment que tu remontes la pente et peut-être cette fois-ci que tu ailles au bout.
Oui, tout à fait. Et demain est un autre jour, donc on va essayer d'oublier ça avec le petit sommeil, la petite récupération, et puis repartir sur une nouvelle ambition et réussir et compléter cette fois la 10e frame.
Keny telling us, indeed, tomorrow's another day. We're going to have a big night of rest in between them now and tomorrow. We'll see what tomorrow holds for us in store, and hopefully I'll be able to take it all the way down to frame number 10, which seems to be the position at which I falter every single time, at least up until now. Thank you very much, Keny. And we're going to welcome, indeed, the winner and now champion of the mixed team category, Phil Manning, joining us out here as well. Phil, he did it in the semifinals. He did it again in the final. I mean, this is the ultimate testament that you never should give up until the very end. Phil, congratulations. I mean, 3 in a row in frame number 10. This is insanity.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really know where it came from. I honestly haven't got a clue. Like, I went from nothing to something right when I needed it, and it just came out of nowhere. And I mean, it's not, I'm tired, mentally tired for having to spend those 2 frames, that last 10th and this 10th, just keeping focus. But man, there's every time to do it right at the end when you need it. So yeah, he gave me the opportunity. I had to see it off. Had to see it off,
and that's exactly what he did. Phil Manning, thank you so much for the remarks, the comments out here, and thank you guys so much for being with us here on One Sport.